Hey man, Kombat Konvo, you know what it is. We back. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the page. So today we talking about Vince McMahon and his case, and where is this gonna go? And I know we've been not talking about this, but this episode may be a little bit longer than usual because we got some things that we need to iron out. Me and my partner here, he's trying to be modest, but we need to talk about it. So look, my partner believes that Vince McMahon is a rapist and he did his thing out here. I don't believe that. I believe that it was consensual and he would just want money. That's how I believe. But so let's get into it. So why you feel the way you feel?
All right, so let's clear up a few things real quick. You know what I mean?
Here we go.
Let's clear let's clear up a few things real
Here we
quick.
go.
Okay, let's clear up a few things. All right, for one, right? You're right. A lot of them things that these wrestlers do, including Vince, 9 times out of 10 are consensual. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. These wrestlers, these athletes, Vince, they've been living like this since 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way until now. This is how they've been rolling, right? So if he ain't learned his lesson the first go around, what makes you think he's learning his lesson now? You understand?
What
For me
lesson? What
personally,
lesson?
for,
Hold up. You can't just say
for
something like that. You got to provide some context.
okay,
What
all right.
lesson
So
did he learn the first time around?
here's the contents. When he went through that issue in the beginning, I think it was around what was it, 2022 or 2020? Round of it was real close. When he went through that issue, that first go around, right? He went through that issue. Everything got ironed out. Unless allegedly got ironed out for the most part, and he took a back seat. Months later, he decides to return. Now, mind you, his reason for returning, we all know, was to sell the company. You know what I'm saying? Which that's what he did under the now it's under the TKO umbrella. My thing is, right, if and I say it again, and I said this in videos before, if that's what your intention was from the get-go, you could have did that while you was in office. You ain't have to wait until all this controversy start before you decide you want to back out and then go sell the company for you to return and all this other extra stuff. It don't make no sense. At the end of the day, right, what's best for the company is for him to chill out, for him to go retire, stay over there, and that's it. Do I think he did what he did? Of course. Of course I do. I'm gonna be honest. Of course I do. But he ain't the only one. There's a bunch of them that done the same exact thing. The only difference was he's the big fish. They don't want the other ones. They don't want the other ones because they're to what they feel is he's the most, you know what I'm saying? He's the big picture, he's the face, so they want to go after him. You know what I mean? But there is others. There's others. They might not have done
There's others
the
of what? What did they do?
sleeping around with women, graping, whatever you want to call it.
How you
You know what I'm
know that?
saying? Bro, come on, man. Bro.
Yeah,
All them,
that's a
no,
legitimate question.
listen,
That's a legitimate question. How
bro,
do you know that?
bro, all them wrestlers, bro, were living like rock
Bro,
stars,
come
man.
on, bro. You
Back
can't
back
say
in the
you can't
day, all the way till now,
bro,
bro. They all, bro. Look, man. Celebrities in general do stuff they ain't supposed to be doing. Do we know? Do we know half? Do we know the whole truth? No, we don't. You know what I'm saying? But these guys, but it's been recorded, it's on record that all these celebrities, we don't know who's doing what, but they do this stuff. This is what they do. My whole thing is, and I'll piggyback off of what you said before, right? Off camera when we talked about it. My whole thing is when these things happen immediately, somebody should say something. Somebody should say something and just put it out there. But everybody wants to wait until like years later. And I understand emotions. People are scared, this and that, or whatever. I don't want to lose my job. I'm taking care of my family. Look, man, look, enough's enough, man. Just say something, get some help, and move forward.
So
Like I
so
said before,
go ahead. I'm gonna
huh?
let you finish. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
Like I said before, you know what I mean? It wasn't right. Whatever happened. It wasn't right. But it just the thing about it takes away the attention of the sport, and then it puts attention on everything else. And me personally, when I was talking about it on Bars Wrestling Media, it wasn't even something that I really wanted to discuss, but I discussed it because, I feel as if as podcasters, we're the news. We're the news that we hear something, we say, we just tell the truth. Whether it's our truth, whether it's their truth, or whatever, we just speak out. We say what the other media outlets won't say. That's what we do. So I just felt like the need to talk about it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you know what I mean? Whether people think he did or didn't, I think basically, like I said, I'm standing 10 toes down. I feel like he did it. You know what I mean? Whether whatever happens, hey, that's not in my hands. That's in the law's hands, and that's in the man upstairs' hands. I ain't got nothing to do with it. So it is what it is, man. I ain't, you know,
You done?
finished. I'm finished.
All right, man. Look, man. Yo, bro. First of all, you have no evidence of none of this. None.
Bro,
Hold up. Let me
it's
finish because you
out
talk.
there
You
though.
did a lot of talking. You did a lot of talking, and I ain't say nothing. I just let you go.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have evidence. You have no evidence of this. You going off of speculation. You could say whatever you want. You could say, "Oh, well, that happened because we all know that's what happens." But you wasn't there. You don't know. You only know what people said. That's it. Right? Number one. Number two, was he ever found guilty of any of this? Ever? That's a question. Yes or no?
Bro, of course he wasn't found
Okay,
guilty
all right.
because they
Do
haven't.
you
But
trust?
they
Hold
haven't
up,
finished.
hold
But
up.
it's
Wait a
not
minute.
done
Let me
yet.
finish.
It's
Let me
not
finish.
done yet.
Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Right?
Go ahead.
Do you trust the justice system?
Honestly, I really don't trust the justice system,
Okay.
but
All right. So when they said that then when they said that what's his name was guilty, somebody that you disagree with, I mean that you agree with, that was guilty. Let's say okay. Let's say R. Kelly, right?
mm-hmm.
You think R. Kelly was guilty?
Do I think he was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think he got what he deserved?
Do I think he got what he deserved?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Justice was served, right?
In that case, yes.
Okay, so
Justice was
was Vince
served.
ever convicted of it?
Bro, they're not even.
Hold
finished
on,
the
let's
case
answer
yet.
my question. Yes or no?
Yeah, of course he hasn't. Of course
Okay,
he hasn't
so
been.
you trust the justice system then, because you just said that R. Kelly he got what he deserved, right?
Bro, the
Hold
justice
up,
system.
you got what
Everybody
he
knows the
deserved.
justice system is flawed, bro. The
He
justice
got what he
system is
deserved,
flawed.
right?
Yeah, as far
Okay.
as R. Kelly, yes.
Now, the reason why I'm saying that about the justice system is because you can't pick and choose what you believe. You saying the justice system don't work, then R. Kelly should be free, right?
Yeah, he should be if it don't work. But what I'm
So if
trying
Vince
to
McMahon got found not guilty or he wasn't found guilty, how can you say he did something that if he wasn't found guilty of it?
Bro, come on now. You
right?
know how long it takes. You know how long it takes before something is actually
Bro,
finalized and done.
all I'm
You
saying
know it
is,
takes forever.
I get it. I understand. I don't act like I don't. I'm saying if somebody had a weapon and somebody had a body came up, the weapon didn't come up, can they find you guilty of? If they didn't
Of
find the
course,
weapon.
if the weapon, if they didn't find a weapon, of course
Okay.
not.
So you can apply the same logic to Vince McMahon. People do all the talking, but was he found guilty of a crime? So you can't say that you believe in the justice system if Vince McMahon wasn't found guilty of a crime and you say, well, we all know he did it. We don't know if he did it or not. That's one. The second one is, why y'all acting like Vince McMahon isn't wrestling? You can't erase Vince McMahon, bro. Not saying you. I'm just saying people. Y'all can't erase Vince McMahon. That's never going to happen, bro. He is wrestling, bro. There's nothing you can do about it. People could try their hardest to try to act like Vince McMahon isn't a big deal. He's a big deal. To this day, he's still a big deal. He's still a big deal. You can't do nothing with that man. Nothing. He's like, excuse me. He's like Steve Jobs. He's like Obama. He's like Trump. He's like who would you say is he's like Mahatma Gandhi. That's him. Vince McMahon made sports entertainment. There's nothing y'all can do to get around that. You could try to erase, you can't erase Vince McMahon. How are you gonna do that? How? You can't erase him. You can't erase his family. You can't erase Triple H. None of that's ever gonna happen. I don't care what y'all try to come up with, trying to formula. And another thing too, y'all gotta stop saying what y'all think was good for the company. This guy built this company from the bottom all the way up to the top. He put seeds in place. He did things that people would never have done, ever. This is the reason why WWE or WWF, before it was WWF, and then it's WWE, this is the reason why this company is where it's at today. Whether people say, oh, well, he came back and you don't know. He could have been working behind the scenes. Nobody knows. All we know is he started WrestleMania. He started Survivor Series. He started all of those. He was the one that shut WCW down and brought WWF, when the Monday Night Wars happened, when they was losing ratings, and Ted Turner ended up giving up the merger happened, the Time Warner merger. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that stopped all that. He was the one that created Stone Cold and The Rock, the greatest feud ever. He was the one that made Hulkamaniacs, the Ultimate Warrior. He was the one that did all this. Did y'all forget? Have y'all forgotten? Have y'all forgotten? Triple H, Shane O'Mac. Have y'all forgot? Booker T, the Undertaker. Have y'all forgotten? Ric Flair. Every known wrestler ever worked under Vince McMahon. Every one of them. Even the ones that didn't work under him, you ask them to this day, they wish they did. I don't care what he did. Whether you're saying, well, he did some things that was questionable. You don't know what he did. You have no idea what he did. And he admitted that he did some things, but you don't know because it's all hearsay. And people made deals. If this man really raped a woman and she was really scorned by him, how come she didn't say it from the beginning? Whether you say, well, the reason why is because she was probably scared and she would lose her job. No, I believe, it's what I believe. I believe that they went along with it. A good percentage of them, chicks, they did it because they wanted to do it. Because if you don't want to do something, you ain't going to do it. Period. You ain't going to tell me that you giving head for 10 years and all of a sudden now, I'm the victim. How are you the victim? How? How are you the victim? Was you beaten to death? You literally went home and came back. You went home and came back. So if you went home and came back, how are you the victim?
You make some valid points, but
if you found out that I was getting raped by a woman, right? And I said, man, I don't know, I'm the victim, right? And I go home. I don't live with this lady. I go home. But then I come back and you say, Reese, why you keep going back? I mean, no, it's all right. It's like, come on, bro. When are we going to admit that everything can't be Vince McMahon's fault? Y'all walking around like this man is the giant devil. Like he's the big devil with the big pitchfork. Vince McMahon with the funny ass mustache. Y'all acting like that. Y'all acting like he's the biggest scumbag ever. Because y'all disagree with him on certain things, or the way y'all think the WWE should have been ran. That's how y'all move. Y'all think the WWE should be ran a certain way. It shouldn't have been run under Vince McMahon, but he was the one that created everything. But you telling me that he shouldn't be running it, and he was the one that created it and made it to where it's today. And you saying he shouldn't run it. Come on, bro. Like, oh, because of the scandals. Why do you care about it? Why do you care? Yo, you like wrestling. Is it going to stop you from watching it? No, it's not.
Here's one.
I'm not done.
Okay, go ahead.
I ain't done. Because you went on forever.
Go ahead.
I'm saying, Bars Wrestling Media. I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? How you going turn your back on Vince? How? He made you what you are today. Every memory you have is because of him. The truth. You know it, so you laugh. Every memory you have is because of Vince. WrestleMania 2. Who was in WrestleMania 2? You remember? Hulk Hogan and who? Andre the Giant. You know what I'm saying? Undertaker. Who is it? Who was he? 26-0 until he lost? Like, come on, bro. 27 though. Right?
Nah, this is like he was 31? He was 21. He was 21 and and then he lost, and then he was like, I think he's like 21 and 1, something like that, or 22
he lost
and
Brock
1.
Lesnar, right?
Yeah, he lost to Brock. Yeah.
What I'm saying? Who wrote you Brock Lesnar? Come on, bro. Macho Man Randy Savage. These people, he brought these people, man. You turn your back on him. And listen, I'm not saying that Vince McMahon is a saint. I'm saying I lean more towards supporting him because he gave me memories and he did things for me in my life as a fan versus somebody I don't know and she could be lying. I would lean more towards him because guess what? He was never convicted of a crime. So I would lean more. People say, well, he settled out of court. Most big billionaires settle out of court because they don't want that on their name. They want to get rid of it as fast as possible. They don't have time to be going to court. He's like, well, how much you want? I want 50 million. Okay, here. And I want 20 more on top of that. Okay, here. And if you don't give me this, I want 30 more on top of that. I'm just saying, everybody ain't a victim that they claim is a victim. And I'm not knowing victims or people who actually went through things and then things actually happened to them. I'm not saying that. And I feel sorry for y'all. I'm sorry that happened to y'all. But what I'm saying is, if you're going to settle out of court, you're just as liable as him if he settles out of court. So what I'm saying is, if Vince McMahon did do something to these people and they settled out of court, then obviously it wasn't that big of a deal to them either. Because guess what? If somebody plugs something up my butt without me knowing, I ain't settling it out of court. We going all the way. That's how I feel. But go ahead.
Yeah. So the one other thing I want to mention is that, you know what I'm saying? The girl, right? If he had, and this is what like, and I'm surprised that they're not elaborating on this more. You know what I mean? If he had just paid off whatever he owed this chick, we won't even be having this conversation. Really wouldn't. You know what I mean? Whether I think he did it or anybody, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And he could have saved himself frustration. Now, mind you, we probably still will be dealing with him in TKO and the WWE, but at least, you know what I mean? At least everything will still be settled, and we won't be having to continue to have this conversation, because at the end of the day, it don't even matter what I think. It
But
don't
wait a
matter
minute.
what you
Wait a minute. There's something.
hmm?
There's something I believe that we both wrong on. You
What's
said
that?
that if he would have paid this girl, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I read up on that. He did pay
hmm
her. He did.
He paid her the full 3,000. I mean, 3 million.
No, what happened was he did, but I believe that she wanted more. She was seeking more because I don't know if they left it open or something, but she got paid her money.
hmm
She got paid her money. I'm not sure exactly what it said, but I know it says she got paid her money, but she requested more money. So it's kind of like, okay, I know I got paid this amount, but that's not enough, even though I agreed to it. You know what I'm saying? So I believe they found a loophole or something like that, and she could come back and re-sue or do something. But that didn't go nowhere though. Where did that go?
Well, I know what I read. What I read, it said that she was given 2 million, and then all he had is another 1 million left to pay, and then after that, everything would have been done and over with. That's what I read. Now, if something
But
else
this is what I'm
came up,
saying. Let me ask
yeah,
you this real quick. Do you
uh-huh.
think Vince McMahon didn't have that money to pay? Or do you think that the story that they're telling is that? Because look, come on, bro. You talking
No,
about
I never said he didn't have the money to pay.
no,
I
what is what
know
I'm
he had
saying
the
to you.
money.
No, listen to what I'm saying to you. I get what you're saying. What I'm saying to
Yeah.
you is, what story do you believe more? Do you believe more that Vince McMahon just didn't pay this chick when he has that type of money and he knew that that would go away? Or do you believe that there's something not being told to you? Because if I'm a billionaire and I know that I have to pay somebody $3 million, you think I'm gonna pay her two and then they just sit on the other one and just not do nothing about it, knowing that she can come back and reopen it? That doesn't make sense. And I don't think that he
No,
would
that
move like
that
that.
that you're right, and I agree with you on that.
Yeah.
That did make sense. I believe I said something like that on a recent video on Bars Wrestling Media. So that I understand that part. So if that's the case, then you know what I mean. Like, why wasn't it? Why wasn't something done?
But that's
Why
what I'm
wasn't
saying.
something?
Like what I'm saying to you is we don't know what actually happened. Like when it
Mm-hmm,
comes to that. Because
mm-hmm,
she could say anything. Her lawyer
mm-hmm,
could say anything. But we don't know. We ain't see nothing. She could have got paid the money and just saying she didn't get paid the money. We don't know. That's the reason why I said that story right there is kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, just me personally, I don't think Vince McMahon stepped down because of that. I think he got what he wanted, and I think he walked away from there. Like, cause my thing is like people are like, oh, he stepped down as chair because of this. I don't think it was because of that. I think he got everything he wanted. The merger went through, or the sale went through, and what else is there? He don't need to be there no more. Maybe you don't. We don't know. That could have been in his contract that once they sell a company off, he has to sell he got to step down as CEO. But does he still own stock though in the company? Because if he does, and if he has 90% of the shares or 75% or whatever, he don't own no shares in the company.
Now, I'm not saying he don't own shares, but it is the shares. From what I understand, and I could be wrong, but from what I
12
understand,
a.m.
the shares that he does have left over, it's not enough to really do anything,
Well, I'm not
make
saying
any
I'm not
decision.
saying what I'm saying is I'm not saying that he's doing it to take over the company, because
Hmm.
obviously he wouldn't have sold the company then if that's the case. I'm
Yeah.
saying if he has shares to the
Hmm.
point where he stepped down, maybe they said, well, look, you step down as CEO once the merger go through. You step down as obviously he had to step down because he sold a company. So if you selling
Hmm.
something, you ain't gonna still be the CEO of it. That doesn't make sense. So you ain't the owner no more. So
Hmm.
he stepped down, right? And I think the media made it seem like he stepped down because of that situation. You know what I'm saying? But I don't. This is just me. I see a bunch of outlets of people making videos, right? Wrestling videos talking about it, but I don't see nowhere. It's not on the news. There's not the replica websites talking about it. Nobody's talking about that. Only people who hate Vince McMahon is talking about it. Not saying you hate
Now,
Vince
this,
McMahon, but you know what I'm
yeah, there's
saying?
some places. No, there's
You
some
have to
places
send me
that
those
talk
because
about it.
I haven't seen, because if
Yeah, I'll
listen,
send you the
bro,
links.
Vince
Yeah.
McMahon is a major figure. He's a public figure, major public figure.
Hmm.
Major. I'm talking like he's a living icon, bro. For people to say that Vince McMahon did something, it would be everywhere. It would be everywhere. It wouldn't just be in these small websites where people are biased. It will be everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Bro, that's all I'm saying. That's just me.
No, no, bro, you entitled you entitled to speak, your opinion and stuff like that, just like I am. But it's just for me, for like I said, man, for me, man, like, and hey, I could be wrong, you know, I don't
I
think
got
I
one more
am, but I
question.
could.
I got one question for you before one question for you.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and finish, but I got one question for you before we get out of here. One question. But go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm saying, hey, I could be wrong. I could not be wrong. You know what I mean? Really, nobody really has the answer. At the end of the day, it's all speculation.
Mm.
But what people can say, and what they probably gonna continue to say, is that they all was living that lifestyle. That girl, she was living that lifestyle too. They all was. Like, the thing is that I'm surprised that nobody's elaborating on the most is that when these people get into the business, whatever they do, they always want to do something to get ahead very fast, as if they're on some sort of timeline. They always want to do something to get ahead very fast. So they start mingling with these people they probably shouldn't be mingling with. They start indulging in these behaviors. I'm talking about not just men. I'm talking about women, both. They start indulging in these behaviors, and then something happens. Then all of a sudden, he did it, she did it, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? If you just stay in your lane and do what you do, we won't even have to be having these conversations. But people continue to do this. It happens in Hollywood, and it happens in sports, man. People continue to do it, and they're gonna still continue to do it. They never gonna learn their lessons. So
So my
that's
question I
it.
have to you is, what do you need to hear? I ain't gonna say see. I'm gonna say hear. What do you need to hear
Mm.
that you would say Vince McMahon is not guilty?
Probably the girl just come up for her and say, like, she just she made half of that joint up. I'm gonna put it to you like
Hold
this:
on,
if, if
wait, hold up. Wait a minute. So you basically saying you believe the woman over Vince, even though you have no proof.
bro, if she come out and just say she made that joint up, I'd do a public video saying, "Yo, I was wrong."
What I'm saying to you is, you
Mm-hmm.
believe the woman over Vince, even though you have no proof. You just said the reason why you would come out and say, yeah, he's not guilty, is if she say he's not guilty. But you don't know if this chick is lying or not, and he wasn't proven guilty of it. So how can you say that you rely on her word, knowing that people in positions like that where they can get money out of somebody, they could make up stuff. I couldn't, and maybe it's me. I couldn't take that woman's word at 100% because you went on for years doing it. It didn't happen to you, and then you stopped it right away. So to me, there was some type of enjoyment in it because you wasn't locked up in a prison and you couldn't go nowhere. You literally
Well,
left.
well,
Was she locked up?
well, technically, you know what I'm saying? There was something in there that said that she was locked in the office for a few hours or whatever like that. That's what I could find the article
Get the fuck out. I'm not
that's what
rolling
it's
with that. Get out of you. Come on,
yeah,
bro.
that's what it said. That's what it said.
You
Yeah, she
gotta,
was locked.
you need to just sit
Yeah,
down on that one, bro. Locked in
yeah,
the office.
that's what it said.
Come on, bro. Look, there's so many different ways you could take that. She said she was locked in the office. She could have locked the door. She could have said the door was locked. I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
if there's any proof of, like, let's say for example, right? If you got a tape of Vince McMahon hitting her upside the head and shoving her in a closet, and then he locks the closet, then I could be like, yeah, you see, he did it. You know what I'm saying? Look what happened. But for her to say she was locked in a closet or locked in an office, how big was the office? The office could have been the size of Walmart. The office could have been her apartment. It could have been anything. When people say stuff like that, I don't agree with that. I was locked in the office for a few hours. Maybe she went in there and locked herself in the office because maybe she was scared. Who knows? I'm just saying. I
Yeah,
just can't roll with that.
I see your point too, but
You know what I'm saying?
I'm only going off the points that I believe. When that was brought to my attention, I was like, man, I don't know about that one, but like I said, man, that's just my opinion, man. That's just my opinion. Like I told you before, man, all those people, they indulge in those behaviors 24/7. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, if I'm in the big field of professional wrestling and I'm trying to get to the top, I'm going to grind for myself to get to where I need it. It might take longer, but at least I could say I ain't get no one of those type of alley oops that put me in a situation because it's just too much, man.
Well, I'm gonna
And
say this. I'm gonna say this before we get out of here. Um, Groupies is a real thing. I want y'all
yeah,
to understand that. Men work hard to get in positions. Groupies work hard to take the positions. So you got men who out here literally, whether it's musicians or whether it's anybody, you got women who follow these guys and literally try to get pregnant. They do whatever, poking holes in condoms, all types of stuff, because they want to take what they have. It's a
yeah,
thing. I don't know why people don't understand this. So I'm not saying, listen, I'm definitely not sitting here saying that things doesn't happen to women and women are not victims of violent crimes and stuff like that, because that does happen. But what I'm saying to you is, in this type of business and industry, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because if something happens to somebody in this business and they continue on going on with it, you can't tell me that you're a victim. If you keep on doing it, you're not a victim to me. A victim is somebody who don't like it and won't take it. You don't wait 10 years, 20 years and try to tell me that you're a victim. Always been
I
a
agree
victim
with
for
you.
years.
I agree with you on that one. I definitely do. I agree with you on that one.
That's all I'm
I
saying.
think we both can agree on that. Like, why wait so long? But
I don't know. It's a thing now. It's a thing now where people, they say they wait long because they was afraid and all that. Listen, man, I'm not trying to hear all that. So why you not afraid now? You got the courage now. Like now you know. Now all of a sudden you brave now. What about now? So you waited 10 years to the day after the 10th year, the 10 years and one day that made you brave. Like, I'm not trying to hear that. You know what I mean? But either way, hey man, I'm out of here, man. We out of here. See y'all. Peace. Bye.